Hello friends, my name is Mukesh Baitanna. As we have seen question answer, now further question answer till 1 to 5 we have seen comprehension check. Now another question is oral comprehension check on page number 24 of textbook. First question, what twin obligation does Mandela mention? What twin obligation does Mandela mention? Mandela mentioned that every man has twin obligations. The first is to his family, parents, wife, and children, and the second obligation is to his people, his community, and his country. What Mandela said? That two obligations Mandela mentioned, that is, first is family, parents, wife, and children. Family, parents, wife, and children, and the second obligation to his people, his community, and his country. These two, he shows that obligations. According to him, first obligation, his first duty towards family, parents, wife, and children, and his second, his people, his community, and his country, he was devoted to perform his duty. Second question, as we have seen, what did being free mean to Mandela as a boy and as a student? How does he contrast these transitory freedom with the basic and honorable freedom? Transitory means for short period of time. So what does being free mean to Mandela? What is freedom when he was a boy, as a student? And how does he contrast transitory freedom and basic and honorable? Transitory, that for short period of time, and basic and honorable means freedom for long time. Like any other kid means child. Like any other child, for Mandela, freedom means to make merry and enjoy. Merry, that enjoyment, happiness, the blissful life, enjoyable life. That is, in his childhood, he think like this. Once one becomes an adult that young, antics of childhood look like transitory, as he thought in his childhood that is transitory for short period of time, because most of the childish activities are wasteful from the adult perspective. Large difference is there in the activity of childhood and in the activity of young age, adult. Once you are adult, you have to earn a livelihood to bring the bacon home. It is only then when you get an honorable existence in the family and in the society. According to him, when you are a child, you enjoy your freedom. That freedom is transitory for short period of time. But when you become young, you have to perform responsibility, you have to earn money, and that is why you have to remain careful and remain sincere for earning money for family members, or to keep the existence in the family and in the society, you must have to be sincere when you become adult then. When you are child, no responsibility or responsibility is there. But when you become young, you have to think seriously, you have to earn money, and you should be responsible for your earning, for your work, and you have to follow rules and regulations, and you must think about society, about people, about family. So then you can live an honorable life, honorable existence in the family, in the society. When you become young, then what activity you are doing in your childhood, that activity you cannot do after becoming young adult. So he firmly believed in this type of philosophy. Number 3, does Mandela think the oppressor is free? Why? Why not? According to Mandela, the oppressor is free. Why? Why not? See the situations. Mandela does not think the oppressor is free. According to Mandela, oppressor is not free because according to him, an oppressor is a victim of hatred. Who faced the difficulty, it is called oppression. He become victim of hatred, who is behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. Who become the victims of the prejudice? Who has to suffer a lot, who faced many difficulties by the hands of the narrow-mindedness? He realized that both the oppressor and the oppressed are robbed of their humanity and peace. According to Mandela, both are responsible. Number 1, that is robbed of their humanity and peace. That person should keep in mind. According to Mandela, the oppressor he does not think that oppressor is free because the oppressor is a victim of hatred, who is behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness, not thinking properly, narrow-mindedness, and these are the responsible for this particular matter, this particular thing, so that they have to keep in mind. Now, question number 1, next question, thinking about the text, page number 24. Why did such a large number of international leaders attend the inauguration? What did it signify the triumph of? Thinking about the text on page number 24, question number 1. Why did such a large number, many persons, international leaders attend this particular function? What is the reason? Why they attended this particular ceremony function? What is the proper reason of it? See now, to be the part of inauguration, international leaders showed a gesture of solidarity from international community to the idea of end of apartheid. Apartheid that keeping the differences, these particular rules that white cannot give the same rights and rules to the blacks, and for long times as white ruled over South Africa, they did this, they were exploiting the blacks. That is why as General Nelson Mandela fought bravely and brought the end of this particular injustice. That is why the leaders of the international or different countries wanted to become the witness of this ceremony. That is why they attended this particular function end of the apartheid. It was the significance of the victory of good over evil. Significance of the victory of good over evil as we celebrate Dasera. On this particular day, Ram had killed Ravan, and Ravan was the sign of evil. He didn't do good work. That is called evil. That is why telling that we celebrate Dasera, we eat sweets because it is nothing else but victory of good over evil. As that is why, as Ravan is the sign of evil, who did wrong deeds, who acted, who did wrong activities, and that is why good over evil. Here also, white people keep the differences of the black, and when black person became the first president of South Africa, they thought like this that particular evil that is come to an end and good thing, that is by telling good over evil, victory of good over evil and triumph of a tolerant society without any discrimination, triumph, that victory of the black. That is why they were happy. They thought now this particular wrong system now come to an end, and citizen of the country, all the citizens of the country enjoy same rights. That is why the people of the leaders of the world realized this, and they attended this particular meeting to become the witness of this ceremony. Second, what does Mandela mean when he says he is simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before him? What he firmly believed, what he said, according to him, when he says that simply the sum of all these, what does it mean? By saying that he is simply the sum of all those African patriots, Mandela wants to pay his tribute to all the people who have sacrificed their lives who has sacrificed their lives. He firmly believed that he was very much obliged. He remembered and paid tribute to the African patriots because he firmly believed that people who have sacrificed their lives for the sake of freedom, for the sake of freedom, he says that he is grateful to those who had gone before him, because those heroes of past had paved the path of cooperation and unity. He firmly believed that the people who sacrifice their lives and who faced many difficulties for the sake of the country, how he can forget? How can he forget? According to him, they are the real heroes, and that is why he remembered them. They are the heroes of the past, had paved the path of cooperation and unity. He showed the path of cooperation and unity, that is why he firmly believed. Therefore, he could try to come to power to bring equality for his people with their support. He tried to bring the equality, and he wants support of all the peoples, as the leaders had given support to Mandela, and then it was possible for Mandela to bring the end of this evil injustice. That is why he thanked the heroes who supported him, not only this, who gave their lives for the sake of the country, for the sake of this type of freedom, and that is why Mandela firmly believed that due to those particular persons who were real patriots, who fought bravely and who did not hesitate to give their lives, that is why he remembered these particular leaders, and he says that simply the sum of all those African patriots, he used this word patriots, who has higher feelings towards the particular group, particular fightings towards injustice, and without thinking about their life, they totally given everything for the sake of this particular movement, and that is why he firmly believed about this. Next, number 3. Would you agree that the depth of operations create heights of character? How does Mandela illustrate this? Can you and your own example to this argument? Again the questions. Would you agree that the depth of operation create heights of character? One type of heights of the character, as you know, when you succeed, your impression, your prestige increasing, and that is one type of height. How does Mandela illustrate this? Can you add your own example to this argument? Can you give your own example about concern with this? That the persons who are giving support, who are facing this particular difficulties, and at the end when he becomes succeed in doing this, it is very important for the particular things or particular points. I agree with the answer. I agree with the statement that the depth of operation create height of character. If you work and you succeed, your impression, your heights increasing, and you can earn your name and fame. That is height of character. But when you succeed, you work hard, then people remember you. There your name will be written with golden letters. What he firmly believed. Nelson Mandela illustrated this by giving example of great heroes of South Africa like Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, and others who were inspired to sacrifice their lives in the long freedom struggle by giving the name of the patriots. Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, and others who were inspired to sacrifice, who come forward to give their lives in the long freedom struggle. This struggle is, very long, and yet they didn't think about particular matter. India is full of such example. During our freedom struggle, there was a galaxy of leaders of great character, and the operations of British rule created and encouraged people of noble characters. The example of our country, full of such examples. During our freedom struggle, many leaders came forward to fight against this particular injustice which was being done to our country. British rule created and encouraged people of noble character like Mahatma Gandhi. As you know, the noble character who fought bravely against this type of injustice. So, great leader, you know the name Mahatma Gandhi, Lala Lajpat Rai, Jawaharlal Nehru, Chandrasekhar Azad, Sardar Bhagat Singh, and many more. If we compare them with the quality of political leader India is having today, then Nelson Mandela seems to be absolutely right. If you think about the leaders of our country, as we have seen the name Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Chandrasekhar Azad, Lala Lajpat Rai, Sardar Patel, Bhagat Singh, then we realize that if we compare them with the quality of political leaders India is having today, then Nelson Mandela seems to be absolutely right, completely right, because due to these particular leaders, we are able to make this particular point, this particular thing clear that if leaders who were ready to sacrifice did not hesitate to give their lives, then and then, in the real sense, we can say that we have accepted it. We must think about it that many leaders who were ready to sacrifice, and that is why, due to their hard efforts, due to their united efforts, succeed in getting freedom. It cannot be got within one day or short period of time. It long time struggle. Till that had to fight without any type of fear, bravely have to fight and have to show unity, did not think about their lives. Then and then it is possible that we can get victory. You see in the past, then you realize not getting freedom within short period of time, have to pay its price, and its price that means have to be ready for death, then it is possible. Next question, number 4. How did Mandela's understanding of freedom change with age and experience? Question number 4. How did See the questions. With age and experience, Mandela understand the real meaning of freedom. As he become young, with the age and experience, naturally, person can understand the real things, real meaning of freedom. As a young boy, he thought that he was born free and believed that as long as he obeyed his father and abided by the customs of his tribe. He was free in every possible manner. But as he grew older, as his age increasing, freedom to raise a family and freedom to earn livelihood started dominating his thought, and gradually, step by step, he realized that he was selfish during his boyhood. Naturally, when childhood is there, then naturally becomes selfish, thinks about himself only. But step by step, he realized, he thought that he slowly understand that it was not just his freedom that was being curtailed, but the freedom of all the black peoples were curtailed, who were in danger. That is why he realized that now have to fight till the end of this particular movement. It was the freedom from fear and prejudice. Age and experience widened his perspective of freedom. It made him think in a wide way, widen perspective of freedom, his idea about freedom, and in particular his thinking about freedom. He firmly believes, that is why he changed this particular idea. And question number 5, how did Mandela's hunger for freedom change his life? How did Mandela's hunger for freedom change his life? Mandela realized in his youth that it was not just his freedom that was being curtailed, but the freedom of all blacks. Not only his freedom curtailed, but freedom of all the black peoples were curtailed. That was not only the particular his problem. This changed the fearful man to a fearless rebel. This changed fearful man to the fearful rebel. Now he did not have fear, he became brave. He sacrificed the comfort of a settled family life to fight for a greater cause. He decided to fight till the end of this particular movement. He joined the African National Congress, in short ANC, and this changed him from a frightened young man into a bold one who fought against racial prejudice. From the common man, fearful persons, he became brave, rebellious, and he joined in African National Congress ANC and decided to fight against this type of injustice which was being done to him, and he decided to do this particular activity and decided that different rights for the blacks and whites, it is not good at all. So he realized, he thought about this particular movement to fight till the end of that. This brings the end of the lecture here, and further the particular points, grammar point, that we will see in next lecture on page number 171. In this particular question answer, as I already explained, you have to write one time in your book and prepare it properly. That is homework which I am giving to you. Write one time in your book and prepare it. Read 4 times. Write 1 time and prepare it properly. Clear? This brings the end of this lecture. Thank you.